Well, it is the 19th day of the month. The year is 2023. Welcome to another broadcast here at Peter Mama Media. Remember, if you have not subscribed, please do make sure that you subscribe so that you form part of this discussion. And the nation is again at the center of attraction. And President William Ruto appointing former Sports Cabinet Secretary Rashid Echesa to the Water Towers Agency as the Chief Executive Officer. The question we're asking tonight, this appointment a picture of the Republic of Kenya? And joining me in the broadcast is George Kiplagat from Elgeyo Marakwet. Yamune?
Chamega kabisa. Chamega vikakutit. Tuko pamoja. Asante sana.
Yeah, and on my right side I have Washington Leki Milongo. Yes. From Homa Bay County. I'm telling you, this is going to be a quite interesting program because I have the Azimio side and the Kenya Kwanza side. Or should I say, the ruling party versus the opposition. Gentlemen, welcome so much for this program.
Thank you.
And thank you for making time to be with us.
Thank you.
We are making sure that we address the state of the nation. I want to start with you, George, on this particular one. Because you are a very good friend to the president. And we have seen some of the appointments. From where you sit, where are we as a country? From where we sit, in terms of the state of the nation, economically.
Okay, thank you so much, Peter, for having me tonight.
Yes.
For this candid conversation.
Yeah.
Discussing about state of the nation,
yeah.
I can say that before we even discuss how we are,
yeah.
we have to consider that where we came from.
Where we came from.
And where the country is moving.
Mm-hmm.
Before we even discuss state of the nation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because as you can see right now, the president is really working hard to ensure that he pushes the agenda that he sold mm-hmm. to the Kenyans. Mm-hmm. You see? Mm-hmm. Things to do with job creation.
Yeah.
Things to do with reducing tax burden mm-hmm. in the country. Mm-hmm. The president is also pushing an agenda mm-hmm. for ICT and also for the digital economy. Mm-hmm. So far, we can say we are not at the best place where we can say that, because it was just the other day, Peter, when he took office. It was just barely a year. Barely a year.
Yeah, it's barely a year.
It's barely a year.
But the president, allow me to cut you short. The president had a plan of 100 days when he was sworn into the office. He had a plan that in the next 100 days, this is what I want to do as the president in the Republic of Kenya. A lot of promises have been made. Yes. Do you think, in your honest opinion,
yes,
in your honest assessment,
yes,
the president has been able to fulfill the promises that he made immediately getting into the office?
Let me tell you, Peter. Mm-hmm. The president was in office just by virtue of being in office. Mm-hmm. But in real sense, mm-hmm. the president was not in office at that time. Mm-hmm. So he was making promises to the people of Kenya mm-hmm. while he was the deputy president mm-hmm. who was acting as the opposition leader. He was not in government. And let me tell you, Peter.
Yes, yes.
He told Kenyans he had a deliberate plan that in 100 days, this is what he'll do and this is what he'll do. Upon reaching the office, things were different.
Before I bring in Washington,
things were different.
This discussion,
things were different.
Just hold on.
Washington,
I'm coming to you. Just hold on.
Things
Washington.
were different.
What do you mean by
things were different, my friend?
The deputy president was the opposition, just on Washington? What do you mean by that? Because this narrative has been propagated, and to date we have never understood what is the meaning of the deputy president being the opposition leader. Yet he never resigned from office.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
After our own brothers, yes, our own handshake brothers did that thing.
Yes.
The country went on a trajectory whereby the opposition leader almost took the work of the deputy president and the deputy president almost became the opposition leader. So at the time when President Ruto was making those sentiments at the time that in 100 days it was a deliberate plan.
Okay.
And it was a good plan.
Yes.
But let me cut you short. But it was a good plan. But when they arrive in office, now if you found out, hypothetically, Peter Mema, if you have a plan, then you find out that your plan is not exactly as what you thought it is in office. What will you do?
Okay.
Just stay there or look for plan B?
Look for plan B. But
Exactly.
let me bring
That's what the president is doing.
Let me bring Washington into this discussion. As you reflect on the state of the nation,
Yes.
what is your take about where we are as economically, as you respond to some of the sentiments by Kiplagat, saying that your leader, the former prime minister, actually became the deputy president in the handshake government?
Peter, first of all, allow me to thank you for having me today.
Yes.
What Kiplagat is talking about is rumors. Full of rumors. Because he's not even sure. He's talking about almost became an opposition leader, meaning he wasn't an opposition leader.
But
By virtue of law.
Then,
just hang on.
Then, Ruto, by that time, was the deputy. And currently, Ruto is the current president of this nation. The other day, he was being interviewed. He said, my friend, niulize tu swali, because me, kila kitu saizi. You see? Now, when he was campaigning, he gave us a lot of promises.
Yes.
After 100 days, I don't know after what month, June, gas will be 300, you see? Things like those.
Yes.
Now, it has now reached a point whereby he has an idea, but how to execute it is the problem.
What do you mean by that?
Because, Ruto has borrowed some ideas somewhere rather. Because if you reflect back, there was a leader on the West Africa.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The Burkina Faso nation, eh?
Yes.
The upper Volta, I don't know, lower Volta, they think the lower or upper Volta. There was this leader called Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara had the same idea that Ruto is putting into because right now. Those ideas were executed by that Thomas Sankara in 3 years consecutive.
Yes.
And he did a very recommendable job. But now Ruto, on his back, he has a lot of lineup of thieves.
What?
A lineup of thieves.
Washington, when you say thieves, you must substantiate by that.
No.
You must support
a lineup of thieves.
Because we cannot authenticate. We cannot
let me tell you something.
What do you mean by?
Just gentleman. Give him live television, by the way.
Give him time.
He cannot
give me my time.
Just give him time. Just go on
live television.
Give me my time.
Yes, go on.
I explain myself.
Yes.
Job creations. Those job creations, which kind of job are you talking about? ICT. Do you think someone who is old is going to learn is going to be much compared with that ICT issues that you always talk about as UDA people, Kenya Kwanza people? We have people to be given this opportunity of ICT, but ICT cannot work in Kenya right now because of the technology level we are.
Okay.
As we talk about, if you talk about Kisumu now, Kisumu town, compared to Baringo,
yes,
Baringo is quite low at a low point, whereby you cannot compare it with Kisumu. Taking a technology point there, whereby you want to tell people that you are going to do this according to the level of Kisumu, it cannot happen. The level of Mombasa, it cannot happen. You have to do it according to the place where we are.
Okay. And as you say that, before I bring in Kiplagat as well, Kiplagat has accused you of your leader of entering...
Which leader?
The former prime minister.
From prime minister, Raila Odinga.
Raila Odinga.
The people's president.
Yes. Of getting into the Uhuru government and assuming the roles of the deputy president. And as you respond to that, whether that is true or not, the prices of commodities escalated. And recently, when the former prime minister went to the streets to take the streets, he said that the prices of unga must go down. Yet, he did not go to the streets when he was in Uhuru's government. Do you see the double speak in that? Why are you pretending to Kenyans?
There was a subsidization of the part of unga. They subsidized the unga part, and that's why the price was controllable. But as per now, Raila has never been an opposition, has never been a deputy of this nation. Raila is always a top leader. He's people's president. At the same time, you can recognize him as my president. I personally can recognize him as my president. I voted him as the 5th president, and he won the election. And the other side,
that's
the
what
other
we
side
have.
of the guy, of this guy,
What do you mean by win the election?
he won the election. Go and open
Peter
the
Mema,
server.
Peter
Let
Mema.
them open the server.
Okay.
Bring the server out.
This is
publicly.
a national
Okay,
television.
bring the
Okay.
figures
We are
out.
national
All right,
television.
all right.
Give us the cooked figures.
We will
And
get
we
into the
cannot
servers.
No.
deliberating
These
this.
guys,
This
these
is
guys
propaganda.
are-
We cannot
these are
deliberate
shadow
this.
government.
Propaganda.
Just hang on, keep lagat.
No.
We will get into the servers, Washington.
That's why I'm telling you, these guys didn't win the election. They were given election by some people somewhere, whom we can't mention right now.
Yes.
But they know very well power was not on their side. They had no numbers. But they only had, what they had is the deputy president by that time. But right now, whom they have should be declared as the opposition leader, not a leader of this
Okay,
nation.
we will get keep lagat as I bring you to this discussion as well of where we are as a country and the economy. The president has been accused of appointing leaders from one, side of the Republic of Kenya, and the Constitution says the appointments of people in the public service should reflect the entire Republic of Kenya. I asked your colleague who was here yesterday about that question, and he said the members in the public service actually represent the whole of the nation. Do you think the president has gotten it wrong in terms of appointing ministers and people in the positions of authority? Do you think he has gotten it wrong?
Thank you so much, Peter.
Yes.
Allow me first to respond before I get to that question. Let me respond to what my brother here is saying. He's saying that our president has brilliant ideas, but executing is the problem. Let's talk of job creation, for example.
Yeah.
The president is pushing for an agenda of building and creating houses that are affordable by Kenyans. And that's a good plan because it will see close to 200,000 youths get employed by the end of this year. It's a Marshall Plan. You cannot deny that.
By the end
Another
of what?
thing,
By
let
the
me
end
tell
of
you,
what?
Just-
my friend,
just
my-
No.
You will
We
reply
need
on
to
my
friend.
you need to rectify where it's supposed to, where we need a rectification. This guy needs to be rectified because that your president did not talk about a year. He
Okay.
talked about years.
Okay.
It can
Let me
even.
tell you.
All right.
It can.
Let me tell my brother.
Okay, sir.
In
Just
Kenya,
hold on.
Kenya, about approximately 5 million, 5 million youths
Yes,
are unemployed.
that's correct.
Working population
That's an Africa.
is about 700,000. The working population employed by the government in Kenya, of which the president has a deliberate plan to ensure that he makes he creates job opportunities for the youth. Another thing, he talked about things to do with digital economy,
Yes.
ICT,
Yes.
and job creation.
Yeah.
Because we cannot, the elderly are far much behind. Most of the elderly are far much behind technology.
That's correct.
Who are these people who want to be employed? They are the youths. And this digital plan perfectly fits up on the shoes of the youths. Another thing, my brother here talked about things to do with subsidy and why the price of commodities is high. You can see that during President Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, what they were doing so that the prices, it was being regulated. But that was not the original price. Because what they were doing, according to President Ruto, you guys, you are doing what you call, you are subsidizing on consumption. But the Kenya Kwanza team has a deliberate plan, which it is subsidizing on production. They are dealing with the farmers. They have already tried to disseminate the fertilizer. And slowly by slowly, we are changing the narrative. Another thing, you're talking about the appointments.
Yes.
Which
Respond to that question. We'll get to the issue
Yes.
of subsidies.
Yes. Appointments. We are talking about appointments. For example, let's take an example. According to the president, the head of this guy called Ogola,
Yeah, head of Chief Defense Forces.
the chief defense head of the defense forces.
Yes.
Ogola.
Yes.
The president said that Ogola wanted to overthrow his how do you call it? His winning at the Bomas of Kenya. But yet, if truly our president was tribalistic, Ogola would not have gotten the job.
That's correct. I'm just saying that he has been criticized rather of appointing too many people from two ethnic affiliation, namely Kikuyu and the Kalenjins. What do you say about that?
Let me tell you, Peter.
Yes.
These appointments, these political appointments, all everywhere in the world, they are based on loyalty. And you know that, Peter. You know that. These political appointments, most of them, they are based on loyalties. And we cannot deny that. It happens everywhere in the world. Name the countries. And the president, even the deputy president said, this country is, by virtue, a shareholding company. What does a shareholding company mean? There are those who are getting the shares. And by virtue of loyalty. But on the ground, if it means doing interviews, if it means the country is in a very clear state of who can get the job and who cannot.
Okay.
But if you are more competent enough, be rest assured that you get the job.
Okay, Washington, do you think the president has appointed members from two major political affiliations and left out the entire Kenya? What do you think? What is your take about the president's appointments?
Right now, let me ask you something. Let me ask him something. Huh?
Yes.
How many Kalenjins are PSs in this government? The PSs, how many Kalenjins are there? Do you know how many of them are there? There are around, I know of around 10 so far.
Yes.
But not all of them. What I know Ruto, the tactic Ruto is trying to use is that he's trying to use his people. And he's trying to show his people that you have to take this is the moment now. We have to take the road with us. Right now, the other day he appointed, he gave Nurdin Haji another opportunity.
Head of NIS.
NIS.
Yes.
Now, Ruto is going back to the 1992 tactic of Moi, whereby Moi decided to convince the Muslims group like Somalis, whatever, from the other side, the semi-arid side there, and to ensure that by the time he was going to look for votes there, the guys, he will just grab them. It will be just very easy to get those votes. And that is the tactic the guy is trying to use. Now, the political strategy is using is very wrong.
Yeah. Do you think if your party leader, the president, if it could be President Raila Odinga, will he have done the same thing, taken the same trajectory in terms of appointing state officers?
Raila is a very fair person. Raila is ever fair. Raila, if you can even follow the people behind Raila, from secretary of his office, whatever, of the party, we have Kikuyus inside there. We have other tribes, not only Luos. It is not a lineup of Luos only. ODM is not a lineup of Luos only. Let me not talk about even as
the CS is not, it's not a lineup of Kalenjin.
Not the CS, the PS. I'm talking about the PS.
Yes.
The PS. I know the CS is mixed, but the PS sector.
Yeah.
The PS sector is full of Kalenjins. I tell you the truth. And even the other day, what was being done, that he was bringing some guys out of office.
Yeah.
Concerning the scandal on from the, what do you, KEMSA.
KEMSA.
Okay?
Yes.
That one was a broad pressure.
Yeah.
It was from the donor.
Yeah.
The donor are the people who brought that pressure. That if you're not going to work on this, then we are not going to stretch our hands
Peter,
anymore.
that's
you
just
see,
to show you how
I gave you a time. I
serious
gave you time.
Just hang on. Just hang on.
So, if you're not going to do something small, we are not going to do anything on this. We are not going to stretch our hands anymore into this issue of giving out some of the assistance.
Yes.
And as far as health is concerned. Now, Ruto decided to do something because he knows very well Africa nations are being ruled by those people. And I always ask people, I can even ask him, do you know the first visit that Ruto, the second visit that Ruto made outside the country? The early visit that Ruto made was all much about connecting with the IMF, connecting with the World Bank. At the same time, he told us that he's not going to get into connection with these guys. He's going to ensure that this country will never borrow again. Right now, we are in another situation of borrowing. You see? Now, Ruto, the problem with Ruto is trying to secure his 2027 opportunity of fine. You know? By ensuring that he grabbed the Somalis. Now, under security, you have Somalis. Under the security sector, it's full of Somali. He's trying to fix everything on that side because he knows very well that the side where there is no, those people have, most of them have no IDs. For you to get an ID there is some kind of steeper challenges they have. Unlike to us, we guys from the other side. Then, the other day he decided that each and every person should be given ID with as fast as possible. You see? I don't know whether it has started already, but I, as a president of this nation, I know very well that one will be executed, and it will be a plan that will bear him fruit according to him.
According to him, it's a strategy for 2027.
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen,
it's very
let me tell you.
okay,
Let me tell you.
Gentlemen, before you
hang
on, before you reply,
let me tell you. These guys, because in fact, even if you hear what he's talking about the Somalis and what they have been given. Is he having a problem with the president's good appointment? Because is he having a problem with the president's inclusive appointments? Because everybody is included. Because he was talking about the Kalenjins being included more than the rest of the other subtribes.
I guess he said that
tribalism. I was touching on tribalism.
You are touching on tribalism. But you are also talking about Kalenjins. But what you are talking about, you're also talking about the Somalis. So what I'm wondering is, are you having a problem with the president's inclusive? Because when he appoints the Kalenjins, you have a problem with it. When he appoints a Somali, you also have a problem with it.
No, we are 40-something tribes in this nation.
Yes.
And the Somalis are not part of it?
We are not 10 tribes. We are not 7 tribes.
Okay.
And therefore, you need to at least include at least 3/4.
Okay, gentlemen, I think
isn't what
that's okay. As we prepare to wind up the discussion, Washington and Georgia, where is there hope for this country? We are speaking here as people who have lost hope with this particular administration. And I want to begin with you, Kiplagat, because you seem to admire this administration very, very much. Is there hope as a young person in this nation, amidst the myriad of taxes that the president is going to introduce in the 2023 finance bill? Is there hope for this nation moving forward as we finish the discussion?
Let me tell you, Peter, there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope for the people of the Republic of Kenya. There is hope for everyone. There is hope for the youth. There is hope for the elderly. There is hope for basically everyone. Because when you see at the Kenya Kwanza government, what it's trying to do, it's trying to work within its budget. It is trying to work within its financial framework. Because President Ruto went against the advice of IMF to borrow 1.1 trillion that was set up by his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, cutting up that borrowing by almost over 500 billion. And so that can clearly tell you that the country is moving, despite the fact that we can also acknowledge that we are undergoing through some tough economic times. We can also say that we are heading somewhere as a country. The creation of job opportunities, the people need to accept this finance bill that's being tabled at
the parliament.
Yeah. Because it will see a lot of youths getting employment.
Yeah.
It will also see the country.
How many
moving.
youths have been employed?
Just
How many youths have been employed?
Just hang on. Yes.
How many youths?
Yeah.
You talked about 700.
Yes. Please.
It will get a lot of youths employment according to that program, how it has been designed. And also we are looking forward to ensure that the president is looking forward to ensure that the cost of living comes down. When the president got into office, the price of unga was retailing almost at 250, close to 300. And as at now, the price of unga is retailing at 170. What does that has to tell you? Within a shortest amount of within the shortest time possible, things are slowly getting to be better day by day.
Things are getting, and I will take those as your final thoughts on that, because time is far gone. Yes. Washington, is there hope for this nation?
First of all, allow me rectify, my friend.
Yes, and your parting shot, please. Yes, go on.
Without Raila,
yes,
I think he could not. I think right now we could be now dwelling on rice,
yes,
than unga, because with this maandamano, Raila has been going through, has been coming up with the strategy, like a strategy of maandamano. This maandamano thing has compressed Ruto into a small thing, Now, let me call it a particle, such that Ruto is now is being reminded that Kenyans are suffering. Because Ruto seems not to be considering those people who voted for him. Ruto is now considering those who will secure him 2027. In terms of security, in terms of in terms of seats. But the people who voted him into the office is not considering these people. You know? Now, to me, what I can tell him, Ruto has not employed in you. Have you been employed? You're a youth. Is there a friend of yours who has been employed by Ruto?
My friend needs to tell us.
No. Is there anyone? So far, have you heard of a friend of yours who have been employed by Ruto? None. So if you're talking about Ruto rather, targeting youths, it's something that it doesn't even make sense to me.
Okay. Is there hope? Your final thoughts?
To me, there is no hope. The Ruto government and the Kenya Kwanza in general, they are dead. They are dead in terms of, because they came with they were going around preaching the idea of how they are going to assist us. But now the preaching of the idea is nowhere to be seen. So there is no hope of Ruto's government. And Ruto has already seen that is going to fall. So for him not to fall, come 2027, Ruto is collecting money. So that come next election, he's going to give out money to the youth, the same thing to youth.
What I'm most grateful about today, what I'm most grateful is because I can see my friend here today.
In 20 seconds.
What I'm so grateful is I can see my friend here today because he's smiling, he's in good health, courtesy of the unga that has come down to 170 bob.
No.
By the Kenya
What you need to know, Luos don't live, we don't live because of unga.
Yes.
If there is samaki, there is fish somewhere. We are good to it. It's a protein part. It's a protein part.
We will do a blend of samaki and Murski one day. Thank you so much, George Kiplagat.
But let me tell you something.
Yes.
Allow me to tell you something.
Yes.
That Ruto, what Ruto is trying to do, Ruto is trying to collect money through taxes. Ruto is trying Ruto is trying to collect money through taxes, so that come 2027, around 2026, is going to impress Kenyans.
Okay, gentlemen, we have to wind up the discussion.
We
will surely do another episode.
Can you drive a country using loan? Can you sustain a country using loans that you are borrowing, or you sustain a country using the tax that you collect and living within your means?
We have neighbors.
Just as President,
I have got an example. I have a contrast from my side.
Okay,
we have neighbors here from the 255 Tanzania.
Yes.
Late Magufuli.
Yes.
What did he do?
Okay.
He came in and he did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not Ruto?
Gentlemen,
it's okay. Same as what Ruto is doing.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, our time is up. We'll surely do another second video on the state of the nation. Just keep Lagat. Thank you so much, Ode from Geo Marakwet. Thank you so much for making time. Washington, Milongo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this is a discussion that we are having right here at Peter Mama Media. These discussions do matter. And Keep Lagat says there is hope. Milongo has reservations on that. Where are we heading as a country? Make sure you form part of this discussion. Thank you so much for making this discussion happen. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll meet in our next video on the state of the nation. Bye-bye for now. My name is Peter Mwema.